Hey guys, Jamiy, and today on Roblox we're playing some more Loomian Legacy, as you can see on the screen right now. And so then, we've got a few also balance changes in the game that came out with the latest update. I also haven't done a video on them yet because also everyone's been searching for the gammas and I've been doing that as well and completing mastery, so I thought this is perfect now because also I've completed the mastery, so I can take a little bit of a break. I'm still hunting for gammas probably for like the next couple of weeks, but probably like the next week, and then I'll probably try and get back into some PvP because I gotta make some new PvP mons, which is gonna take a while. Anyway, with that being said, we have a new type chart change. So then I'm gonna show you the type changes first, and then I'll go on to the actual changes for like Trimble and stuff like that then. So then, let me quickly show you the screen, and here is the type changes then. So I'm going to quickly zoom in just so we can actually see. So first up, I want to talk about these ones down here. So originally, we had all of these ones planned, and also these four planned quite a while ago. And we basically said, yeah, that's probably what we're going to do. Although, like, fairly last minute, before the update came out, a few of us decided that it's probably not the best. Obviously, most of I guess all of them, all of the type changes, all of the types right now, like weaknesses, super effectors, are from like a logical standpoint rather than a balance standpoint. So, obviously, like, people really didn't like the dark being weak to fire, so obviously, if we were to take that away, we'd have to replace it because dark would be really, really strong then. So brawler, even though it's not like it doesn't really make sense, but obviously brawler isn't really that great, so it's really good, but I mean, there's more that it could do, so that was the plan with that. And then same with the light and bug one. So obviously it doesn't make sense. Light attracts bugs, so technically light, if anything, it should be the opposite way of this, but we thought that instead of like going like the long way around and like trying to nerf and buff and change like 10 different stats just to appease and like nerf light and buff bug a little bit, decided against it. So these are no longer a thing, so we can quickly just go get rid of them. So with that being said, we now have these types. So these are the new ones that have been introduced alongside these ones. So then, obviously bug's got a little bit of a buff, light's got a tiny bit of a nerf, I guess actually a fairly good nerf. Type Plus has got quite a big nerf, although I will talk about that when we get to it. So then, let's start things off then with our first one. So, bug types now resist plants. Very nice. Also, bugs resist themselves now, so that's pretty good. I think those ones probably should be in from the start. Bugs, like offensively and defensively, didn't really do much, to be honest. They still don't do they still don't really like do anything super great like offensive, but I mean, but their defenses side like kind of really sucked. They didn't really resist much at all, to be honest. Along that, electric is now not very effective against spirit, or spirit now resists electric. Not really like a huge reason, just that Spirit wasn't really that great. I feel like Spirit has been like probably one of the weakest types in the game, and I thought this just might help it a little bit, but not a lot, obviously. Then we have Ice is not very effective against Metal. Metal resists Ice. Again, that one probably could have been at the very beginning. Ice is like fairly good, and the main reason why I decided to do this is that obviously Icicle Traps is basically like the new Stealth Rocks, and there's not really that much that resists ice, so like adding one more resistance to ice can like maybe combat that, we'll see, I guess. Next up, also Mind resisting the Brawler typing. Mind right now, before this update, was super strong. Obviously, we couldn't exactly like just completely say, okay, Mind is broken. We couldn't really exactly say that, because the only Mind type Loomian that we had with an actual Mind type that's strong is Chartiki, and Dusket only just now unlocked Flabbergast along with the new Mind type, so just to be wary. Also, he gave that Mind resist Brawler, so it's kind of like a mini buff, like just because Mind doesn't really resist that much. But also down here we can see that Metal resist Mind as well, so it's giving Metal another resistance, so hopefully that can like combat how strong the Mind typing is. We'll have to see. Along that low, we have because of that buff to metal, because also mine needed to be a little bit nerfed, but since metal got that resistance, now metal's a little bit too strong because metal's already pretty good offensively and it has really good defensive like capability. So to combat that, we've gone ahead and made Brawler super effective against metal. So now metal has another weakness, just so also metal isn't super good. And like I said, Brawler, like, I feel like it really kind of like deserves something else. So yeah, that's actually I guess gonna be really good for Tatab. Although on that low, I guess we'll talk about these ones and then we'll go into the type plus one as last. So other than that, since the light typing hasn't really been touched, it is a little bit strong. I think Mind and Light were probably the strongest types in the game, like offensively and stuff like that. So to do that, and also with the light type switching move, Flash and Flee, and there's nothing is immune to light, we went ahead and decided that plants would probably be the best thing to be immune to light. So now all of the plant types, I guess, got a little bit of a buff from that as well, being also able to come in on like the clips, stuff like that. So I think that's a pretty good one right there. Also, just like, since Brawler is getting like I guess a fairly like decent buff, I feel like Toxic just didn't really do much. Like Toxic, I think has like the least amount of like resistances and like offensive presence. So I think this one like can make up for that one. And now Brawler is weak to Toxic, which I think that one should be fine. So if you are curious, now Tatab is 4 times weak to Toxic. Anyway, all on that, let's talk about the typeless changes. So obviously we've hit typeless pretty big. I don't think this is going to make typeless completely irrelevant low, especially from like Trimble and Moochroom's standpoint. They're still going to be really strong. So obviously before this update, one type resisted them, one type was super effective against them, Mind and Metal, which those are pretty good types anyway, but there's not that many of them right now. Obviously before this update we had Dusky and Sorchi, which only one of them had like a good Mind type move, and those couldn't really come in on Trimble because also that completely just wiped everything that had a low melee defense. So can't really say we can't really do too much with that information. Other than that, they can hit everything else in the game for neutral damage. So I feel like this isn't. It's a big nerf, but it's not like completely ruining the typing, in my opinion. So then, with that being said, 2 more types resist the typeless typing, being Ice, so like stuff like, I guess Himber right now is the only thing that resists it from the Ice type, and Icicle. And then Spirit also resists it, so also there's no immunity, so that's why I think, like, if we were to give an immunity, like just make Spirit immune to it like Pokemon does, we probably wouldn't have added in the Ice type resistance, just for the fact that having immunity is like pretty bad for a typing, I guess. So I feel like 2 resistances is still like fairly good. Also just 2 more things can come in, but you can still hit every other type for neutral damage. I think it's completely fine. And along that, we've added in that Brawler can now hit the typeless type super effective, which I think is completely fine. So in this game, we have typeless now having 2 weaknesses and having 3 things that resist it, which I think is still fine. Obviously, it can hit everything else in the game for neutral damage, so also if it's like Trimble using Raging Tackle, it's still gonna hit a lot of things super hard. Anyway, with that being said, let's go on to some individual Loomian balancing now then. So I'm gonna pull up the Discord because I got rid of all of my documents now for that one, but I'll go to the Loomian Legacy balance changes. So then, with this update, we've done also the type changes, and we've done a few of the other stuff. So then, first up we'll talk about is Chartiki. Chartiki has had a little bit of a stat change when I actually find it. I think it's in my second box. Yeah, so here we are. So Chartiki has had a stat, I guess, change, but I think this is mostly a buff. I feel like this is going to help Chartiki a little bit, not too much, but I guess we'll see. But with that, we have decreased the melee attack, because also we don't like giving stuff more stat points. So for most, if Chartiki wants more defenses, I'm trying to, instead of just slapping it more defenses on it, I want to try and like change where they come from. So in that regard, it has lost basically all of its melee attack. So it used to have 55 melee attack, and now it has 15 melee attack, which is completely fine. So also it's lost 40 in there. And then the defenses, both of them used to be 55. Now they are both 75. So like a pretty decent buff. Before it like used to just be a balloon, but also hasn't really got that much health to make it a great balloon. So I feel like this might actually help it out a little bit. Speed stay the same, and range, everything else stay the same, but Chartiki might be able to do a little bit better with that. Also with the plant type now being immune to light types, we could actually see some usage, at least I'm hoping so. I like Chartiki, I've always liked Chartiki. So design is solid, typing is a really cool typing. Anyway, next up plant is Mewtwo. Obviously, people are a little bit upset with the Mewtwo nerf, but Mewtwo just ran over everything. So Mewtwo's original stats were exactly where it is now. So we nerfed it, we took away 20 of its range attack and slapped it into melee attack that it doesn't use. And then this update, we've just reverted it because of the typeless rebalance. So Mewtwo can still be pretty good, obviously, but now it's just got a few more things that resist it and can take a few hits. So I think that should be fine. Mewtwo is still going to be, like, I think, fairly good, but not like busted how it was before. Anyway, next up plan, let's talk about some moves. We have Flash Pulse changes on, obviously, Loomian. I think this one's fine. I think this actually is a pretty good one because Loomian, I guess like wasn't exactly the best. And this update is looking like it's going to be fairly good with some of the new moves like Flash and Flee and the Rejuvenate move. But also Flash Pulse has got a bit of a buff. So it used to have 75 power. It used to cost 35 energy and accuracy used to be 90. The only thing that's changed is that we've increased its strength by 10 and also made it cost like 7 energy more, so it can actually hit things a little bit harder. So I think that one's a fairly good one for Loomian. Next up plan is Battle Horn changes, which is on Trimble. Obviously beforehand, Trimble was the most broken Loomian in the game. Nothing could take it down like super effectively. Like there wasn't any like counters. There was a couple of checks. I guess like Serenite could like take a couple of hits before it set up, but it can set up in Serenite's face really. And even if it gets the burn, Battlehorn gets rid of it. So now what Battlehorn does is beforehand you could just set it up and that'll be it. So it would boost your melee attack and your melee defense, and it would get rid of all of the statuses on the field. So if your Trimble is burnt and I don't know, let's just say a Ventation on the other side of the field is poisoned, it would clear everything up. So kind of like so also like, oh, you just got rid of his poison. Doesn't really matter when Trimble is just about to sit up in your face and it can get burnt, so obviously it can just freely set up. So what the changes is, even though it's like only a small change, but like I said, with the Type Plus nerf, I didn't want to nerf it completely into the ground. I want to see how this one plays out. If it's still too strong, we'll look into it again, but I guess we'll have to see. But now, Battlehorn only gets rid of the statuses on the very first time you use. So when you use Battlehorn, on the very first time you use it in the battle, it will get rid of the statuses, and that is it, unless you swap it out and back in, and also so I feel like that'll probably help a little bit. Again, it's not like a huge nerf, but like I said, I don't want to like completely nerf it into the ground. Even though I think Trimble will still be good even if I do, but I want to see where these what this small change does to it first then. So I think that should be fine. So that is Trimble. Again, if it is a little still busted, which apparently people are saying it is, but it's only like a couple of days after the update, we'll have to see exactly. If it is still strong, we can look into some more changes for that. Next up is Savage Greed, which I think a lot of people are going to like this one, because Volcloa is kind of like, people are saying it's one of the most useless Loomians right now, and I can see why, but I don't really want to touch it up right now, because obviously it can hit really hard, just that I don't really have that many good moves yet. So like, the only move that it really has that is worth running is like Primal Slash and now Savage Greed, but right now for like fire moves, it only has Blaze Chomp, which is very, very low damage wise. Earthquake is good, but Blaze Chomp is like really, really just bad, so when it eventually gets a new fire type move that's also stronger, something like, I don't know, like Flare Blitz or just something, I feel like it'd be a lot more useful. But right now, I don't want to touch up its anything just in case like it's too strong in the future gameplay, and we'll just like nerf it again. So I think for right now we'll leave it how it is, but we'll see exactly with that. But with that said, Savage Greed used to be 75 base power, 45 energy, and our also accuracy is 90. Now we've buffed it, so it's a lot stronger now. So also, no one ran Savage Greed because Primal Slash is just way better. It has a little bit more strength, and it has a critical hit chance. So now it gives you like now you can like use whatever. I feel like some people will still use Primal Slash for the critical hit chance, but Savage Greed I guess is better now. So Savage Greed's now 95 power, which is also more than Primal Slash. Has 52 energy, also is going to cost a lot of energy with that power buff, and still has 90% accuracy. So I guess it'll depend. I feel like some people will swap to using Savage Greed. It also keeps its a secondary effect in double battles if you want to use it like that, but Volclaw doesn't really take that many hits, so that's going to be interesting to see. But other than that though, I feel like some people might keep using Primal Slash for the 100% accuracy. It is like fairly risky, I guess. Plus this one has critical hit chance, so people might use Savage Greed a little bit more. I guess we'll see. And last for the balances is Final Ruse. So then, I don't actually remember if I have it on this one. Do I have it on my Dusket, my Gleaming Dusket? No. Is it on this one? Okay, it's on this one. Final Ruse had been fixed. Okay, for the last few updates, it was meant to have this, but for some reason it was just bugged. But we finally have it, okay? We finally have it. So, also before this update, you could just click Final Ruse, the next turn, click Final Ruse again, the next turn after that, click Final Ruse again. Basically just spam Final Ruse until you're out of energy, or until the opponent actually clicked to move and KO'd you and you took those down with you, which also is super annoying. Now, if you use Final Ruse the first turn, it will fail on the second. You cannot use Final Ruse now consecutively. It's like Dodge, but obviously when you use Dodge, the second time has a 50% chance of failing and a 50% chance of working. For Final Ruse, it is, you use it the first turn, you 100% fail the second turn. Just to prevent the Final Ruse spam, it was annoying, everyone hated it, it didn't take any skill to click it, so we completely got rid of that feature now, okay. Also, I think I forgot to actually mention that Battlehorn has been, I guess, a little bit buffed in energy cost usage. I completely forgot to mention it, but Battlehorn used to cost 60 energy. Now it's going to cost 50 with that nerf, so we'll see how it goes. Again, I know it's like a fairly small slap on the wrist, but I mean, with the typeless change, and it might be like it is a fairly big nerf to the typeless type. I didn't want to do too much before also we see what Trimble could still do. But like I said, if it is still too strong, we could potentially just change it, and we'll see what we can do with it other than that. Anyway, with that being said, I think that's all of the changes, so hopefully you guys enjoyed. Like I said, we'll see how this metagame plays out. Right now, a lot of people are saying that Sedimaz is one of the newest, best Loomian, if not the best, and right now, Ventation is like the only thing that can really take it on if it sets up a couple of sharpens, so we'll have to see with that, I guess. That's gonna be interesting. But anyway, other than that, I'm gonna leave it off here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time.